Hello, friend. Hi, it's me again. So today I thought I would talk about what I referenced in one of the podcasts about the lady that channels angels, Aunt Tucker, in one of her messages, which was how to create your new reality, where she breaks down like the angel message that she got about how we do this. So I sat through the video and I wrote down what I think are the pertinent points, but I would recommend that you go look at the video yourself. It's like a little bit over an hour long, but it's really detailed. And if you're interested in this, it's a good thing to check out. She breaks down how to create your own reality. And it's pretty interesting. To summarize, really, it's just about living in the moment by moment, and not like trying to analyze it after it's gone or anticipate it before it comes, just actually living in the present time, like living in the moment. All right, and living from your heart in the moment, so doing what you want to do through your heart in that moment, essentially. And that should open up some aspects for our life that can bring in on your reality. So I'm going to break it down how she broke it down the best that I can. But again, I don't know if I missed some stuff because it's a lot. So you should look at it. Ann Tucker, ANNETUCKER on YouTube. And this message was from 8 months ago, and it's called How to Create Your New Reality. So this recording is done in January. So 8 months ago from January 2024. Doesn't say the day, the month. It just says 8 months ago on my YouTube. Sorry. If you're trying to find it. Okay, so how to create your new reality. It starts off with saying each moment should be fully experienced living in the now, to allow yourself to embrace what is occurring. The more we do this, the more we allow what we want to come into our reality. Divorce ourselves from, or divorce or free yourself from the past. I'm sorry, the dog is trying to stand. Get his voice. I apologize. I apologize. He's skedaddling. Okay, so divorce or free yourself from the past. This will free you from things that diminish your light. So things like judging things from your past or from your past experience will allow you to stay there. Like you have to free yourself from it, like divorce yourself from it, from how you used to think in the past, how you think things work in the past, trying to make sense of it based on past experiences. I am looking at it. For me, this is where I'm at. Some people would be like relationships and stuff like that. I'm looking at it job-wise. So looking at it as, in order for me to pay bills, I have to have a job and I have to work 40 hours. Was what I thought, right? Trying to find a job I like within those 40 hours is where I was at, trying to, live within the construct. But I really don't want to. I do not want to work 40 hours a week. So much of unless it's something I really want to do. My passion, but I don't want to be tied to a job, you know what I mean? If it's something that's inspiring or something like that, then probably. But a job where I have to clock in at a certain time to do it, and I don't want to do that. And that doesn't mean anybody else wants the same thing. They may want something different. But my thought process of thinking that I need that in order to pay my bills I want to divorce myself from that thought process. I want to free myself from that because I feel that diminishes my life because I have less time following my bliss, following my heart, right? So, yeah, it says that divorce yourself from the past. This frees you from things that diminish your light. It says stop trying to understand things with your mind by comparing it with what you have known in the past. This distracts from the now. It draws our energy from the present, shrinking our experience. So looking at things like from what happened in the past, you just gotta live in the moment right now and not think about it as, well, what happened before. So let me, do it the way I used to do it because I know that way is safe. She said that shrinks your light. So just live in it and enjoy it for what it is. This creates a space to become limitless. So when we live in the moment and not base it on past experiences or frame it on past experiences or limit it on past experiences, like I said, like I live in the moment of not worrying about working. Will it work? I think I want to find out. She had mentioned like relationships, like if you live in a moment and you base a relationship on your past relationship based on a trauma you had in a past relationship, but this person is a different person. So you have to be, that's how she was explaining it. And so people could understand. Like if you're in a new relationship, you can't base it on your past relationship, on traumas from a past relationship. You should be looking at it in a new light, right? And experiencing it in a new light and then be its own thing. So anyway, when we do that, when we live in the moment and not base it on our past, this creates a space to become limitless beyond understanding, a comprehensive focus of clarity, and all at once knowingness in every moment. Let go of the mind and move into the heart. Wow. So just living in the moment and not trying to overanalyze it based on past experiences, just experiencing it for what the experience is and enjoying it and being fully present in it. This creates a space to become limitless beyond understanding, to become focused and clear, for us to have a knowingness in every moment. So this way we will know what to do in this moment to facilitate what we want this moment to be. That's kind of seems easy. It's not though. It's hard. But if we could do this, if we could practice it by what she's saying, I want to try and see. Can I do it? I think I was kind of doing it for a little bit there when I wasn't working. I was just enjoying my day, doing what I want to do every day when I had let go of worrying about getting a job. I got a job though, and I'm grateful for it. But to be free is the goal. And yeah, when I wasn't working, I had all the time to do what I wanted to do. And I started my days thinking about what do I want to do today? And the days weren't always the same. Some days I wanted to walk, some days I didn't. Some days I wanted to sleep late, some days I woke up early. Some days I wanted coffee, some days I wanted tea. Some days I wanted breakfast, some days I didn't really want anything for breakfast. Some days I wanted to paint. Some days I wanted to read, wanted different things to eat. It was different every day. Every day had a new feeling, a new mood. And it was nice not worrying. At one point, I wasn't even worrying anymore. I was like, these days are so good. I just feel like everything's going to work out. And it did because I got a job. I thought that's what I wanted. We're refining. I think I'm refining. I think I talked about this in one of the episodes. I don't know if I posted it. I think I did post it. Yeah. Refining what I want. Freedom of my time. Okay, so that's enough about me. So yes, this means to let go of your mind and live from your heart. Live from what you want to do. Live from your joy. I think I explained this before. Sometimes I got confused with what my mind wanted being what my heart wanted, because my mind generally wants safety and security. And I think that's what I want. But when you think about what your heart wants, which I kind of now know what that feels like, it took me a while to understand it and to get there. Because I was like, what are they talking about your heart and your mind? It's a difference. There's no difference. There's a difference. And I mentioned that, the heart is just like joys, like what you want to do for fun, what you enjoy doing, without putting parameters like, can I pay for it? Um, you know, how will I pay my bills? Um, being safe. It doesn't really think about those things. It just thinks about what your joys are. And so when you start, you're supposed to like do what your heart wants, and then the mind is supposed to come in after to support what the heart wants instead of the mind leading. So, say for example, I can only think about what's going on with me right now. I don't want to work. That's where my heart is. Then my mind needs to help me figure out how to do that. It's not supposed to tell me, nah, you can't do that. You got to work. You got to pay those bills, because that's going against what my heart wants. So it's supposed to help me figure out, how can I enjoy my life doing, not working on a schedule and not having to give someone 40 hours a week of my time, and still be able to maintain the standard of life that I want, right? That's what it shouldn't be the opposite, take the other way around. So that's an example I can think of, because that's where I'm at right now, and I just don't know where to go from here. It looks like I'll have to take a risk here, to take a risk and not base the risk on past experience. Yeah, don't know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet, but this is still good information. Okay, so what happens is the knowingness that we get, the understanding, or the clarity, the focus of clarity that we get comes from our guides or our connections, our source, our higher self, our wholeness, our whole being comes into play when we live in the moment and we don't live based on the past experiences. This openness that it creates allows our higher aspects, our guides, our help to come in and tell us what we need to know to do what we want to do, because it's doing, they would be advising us based on our heart and what our heart wants to do. So that's kind of cool. My heart wants to do these podcasts. I like these things. Yeah, I think I like this. Anyways, I'm a little poetry, I'm a little water paints. Anyways, so then let's say this, so this would be our guides, and not our past living or our past knowledge, but being open to living in the moment, so that our guides and our connections, God, source, our higher self can be heard, can come through us and help us take the steps to live the life that we want to live. It says that changes in perspectives This allows for changes in perspectives, which creates a myriad of choices that were not there before, makes a different placement of who you are, taking forward the best of you. So when we are able to connect with our guidance, this will allow for many choices to be available for us. And it allows for us to see things from different perspectives. So that I think we would have better options or different ways of finding solutions for different things we want to do. I don't even think it's like solutions, because I feel like if you learn from the moment, you enjoy in every moment, you're just finding another way to enjoy the moment more. But yeah, like it'll find a way to enjoy what you want to enjoy in the way you want to enjoy it. And you'll have like options, as it says, a myriad of choices. This change in perspective creates a myriad of choices that were not there before. And it makes a different placement of who you are. So you essentially, your thinking changes. Yeah. Because now you're thinking differently, you're thinking from different perspectives. And I think more positively, right? You're thinking from also a place of joy, of happiness, because you're following your heart. And it takes forward a better aspect of yourself, because it makes sense that would be your better self if you're happier and you're finding options, more and more options to be happier, right? All it takes is just living in the moment and trying not to judge this moment from the past, which is simple, but really not that simple. Anyway, as we do this, it changes us, it changes our patterning. It lets you move into the next now, non-conforming. Oh my God, do I love the non-conforming aspect? Just being yourself, to be, just to be, just to be. Oh my goodness. That's absolute bliss. Okay, so as we do this, right, as we live in, I hate to keep repeating myself, but as we live in the moment, not judging it from the past and analyzing it from the past and not basing our experience from the past, as we live in the moment and enjoy the moment, it opens up a space for us to get guidance, to have more options, to live more of the moments that we want. This changes our perspective and it brings forward our best self. And it changes our patterning. So it changes how we're thinking, how we're living, how we're responding, how we're seeing life, how we're interacting with life, how we're living our lives, how we're eating, what we're eating, who we're talking to, everything. It changes all aspects. So our whole pattern changes and it lets us move into the next now in a non-conforming way with no expectations then, with not having to be something. We just being whatever we want to be in the next now, allowing and enveloping the self in the new light. I just love this. I really wish I could try it. I really wish. I think this sounds like something I want to practice. Anyway, it is the self that transforms from within, which transforms the collective. So if this works on an individual basis, and every individual does this, then essentially everything will change. Our whole structure of living would change. Because if I'm thinking about working in this way, I think many people might think that way too. So I guess how we do business would change. Would it be that we would just have to work an hour and get paid for a whole month? I'm being silly maybe, but maybe we won't have to work at all. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but if what we do on an individual basis affects the collective, it stands to be possible that our entire way of living could change if everybody was living in the moment and not living from past experience or past knowledge, just allowing the moment to be what we want it to be. curious to see how that would look on a collective level. Like, I think it's kind of cool. The releasing of the pattern of what was creates a vacuuming within the self as though you stand, as though you stand and guard the now as a jewel that is held in your immediate perception. So, living in the now and being presented with the space for all this clarity to come through and the different perspectives and a myriad of options to avail itself to you so that you can enjoy the now the way that you want. And this brings forward your best self so that you live in the light of who you are, enveloped, it said, in the light, transforms from within. And the releasing of this pattern helps us to regard the now as a jewel. We see how important the now is. We look at it as a jewel, as something precious, something special, something valuable in our immediate perception. Because, a lot of times when you're living in the now, you're worried about what happened in the past and you're worried about, you have anxiety about the future, you know? But it's the now is where it's at. So once we start to do this, we'll be more guarded with our nows. We'll be like, this moment, I'm living it to the best. I'm not going to throw this moment away because this is how, if I'm happy in this moment, then the next moment is happy, and the next moment is happy, and the next moment is happy, and the next moment, and so forth and so forth. Yes, yes, yes. Looking at the now as a jewel, focus on it. It draws in your awareness like a vacuum, creating a clarity of focus and a myriad of choices. Let the old go, thinking of things the same way, let it go. It is bending and breaking. So those old ways of thinking can't do you no good. It's not helping you. No, let it go. Let it go. Let the old ways go. Let it. Letting it go lets you breathe, allow, and stay and perceive with new eyes what is before you. And from this place, the vacuum is held open, a sense of self-opening, allowing, and the trajectory of your life can change in a moment. In a moment, she says, if we are able to live in the now and allow this opening, if we're able to just let the moment be and experience it without any expectations of it, see the beauty of each moment, see the joy in each moment. If we allow this, we're able to allow and breathe and stay and perceive with new eyes what is before us. And from this place, the vacuum is open, a sense of self opening, allowing, and the trajectory of our life can change in a moment. If only we could live in the moment. I think this is such good stuff. I have my glasses on today so I could read this. With each instantiation of attention, you draw down into yourself a wholeness of what you are. So in each moment in which you are present, in each moment of which you are present, not worried about the past, not looking at the future, but just experiencing the moment. In each moment that you are present, you draw into yourself a wholeness of what you are. Every moment where you are not trying to understand and analyze based on past knowledge, just allowing and living the moment. This creates a pattern, a generative existence. Generative means to generate, right? To make, to create, to produce. So by doing this creates a pattern of productive existence within you that departs from the old ways of forming a life, which was plodding along quite slowly. It cannot happen if the focus of the now is divided. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's all I have. That's what the book broke it down to. So I think this is a great explanation of how it works to create your new reality. I kind of think it does work because I think that's what I was kind of doing by just enjoying my days, just checking in with myself and seeing what I want to do, what I want to eat, how I'm feeling, and just following that. It wasn't nothing big and fancy. It was just, what do I want to do today? It never was like, I want to take a trip to France, although it could be that for you. It was always like, I want to go for a walk. I want to watch a movie I like to watch. I want to read a book. I want to learn more. I want to meditate. I want to find out new things about the universe. I want to walk the dog. I want to take a nap. Stuff like that is where my joy was. I used to think like, my joys would be like a big house or a fancy car or all these fancy clothes. And I still like those things, It's not like I don't see a Porsche and be like, oh, it's an ugly car. It's not. It looks good. But I find my daily life, the things that make me happy are just little things. And if I'm allowed to just do what I want to do in my day, I'm happy like Pappy. It don't take a lot. Don't take a lot to bring a lot of joy to my day. Just takes just doing what I want to do in my day every day, you know? And of course, all my needs being met, right? My needs being met. So being able to have water and lights and a safe place to live and buy the food I want to buy and internet and phone because this is the life we live in now. But maybe the life we live in will change. I don't know. I think I want to try this though, more like in a more focused way or like I think I was doing it without knowing I was doing it. It just kind of naturally flowed like that. But now that I know about it, I think I want to really like put it into practice and see. So let's see with the job thing. If I create my own reality, because I'm a creator, I'm able to transform energy into what I need it to be. Should be able to do this. So let's see, let's see. This will be a great lesson to learn in the progression of myself. No? So what else do I have to talk to you guys about? I finished the book, The Magdalene. And it was, I couldn't put it down. I finished it in a week, I think. I was put on from tired, but like every day I would read something that was interesting enough where I wanted to read what was going to happen next. I think that some things, like anything you read, you have to pay attention to your own discernment. It doesn't mean that what they're saying is wrong. It just means that it doesn't click for you. It doesn't, connect for you. It can be just now because you're just not at that level. You're not there yet. You're not in that frequency yet. Could be that it is BS. But I don't think like anything is ill-intentioned. I think the book is pretty good and it gives some insights and understandings, but I feel like everybody's journey, again, is particular to each person and the things that they have to process and the aspects of themselves and the personality and the things that interest them. And so even with these books that are kind of like channeled books or books based on like experiences or otherworldly experiences, the experiences that they have or the things that they would see, I think would kind of have to do with what's pertinent to their life and their expansion. And so we can learn from it too, because a lot of us have similar journeys to take. But some of it is so specific to the person, that it may not be part of ours to like see it from that perspective. So we wouldn't get that perspective that they're getting. That's what I think. So I think that, his background, the writer's background of being like somewhat famous or well-known musician wherever in the world he's from, and whatever stuff he had to clear, we still see some aspects of it in the story that was told, and I think it was told in certain ways to keep his interest, because he still has certain ways or certain things that interest him. So yeah. But a lot of it I thought was pretty interesting, and a lot of it could be used for progression and a better understanding of aspects of Mary Magdalene and her life, and how the divine feminine plays a huge role in the progression of humanity. So I think that for sure is there. But I think like definitely nothing was ill-intentioned. Like, he was being honest from what he experienced. Just think that some of the stuff that he's experienced would be specifically like formulated for his experience, for his own enjoyment, for the way that he learns things, or will keep his interest in wanting to learn things. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with that. There are another stories. I'd be reading all these Mary Magdalene little books, and I was reading this. I read the other one, the Mary Magdalene manuscript, which I think that's my favorite one so far on her. It was also channeled. And again, like some aspects of it, I think is true, but it didn't hold any much interest for me in that way. But a lot of it, like when she's talking about like the personal experience and her life and her time with Yeshua, and what that relationship did for her and him, blah blah blah. I really like that. You know what I'm saying? When she goes into the specifics of, I think, the magic of Osiris or something, it was also interesting, but I just don't know if that was something that I wanted to explore. But it was good to read and see the way that like was explained, because I was curious about it. I don't think it's something I'm at the level that I want to explore that aspect of it. But the intimacy that she had with Yeshua and the love and the expansiveness of it, that aspect of the story I kind of like was more interested in. And the people that shared the story just seemed so focused on sharing that, that it was channeled and there's no evidence of it. And, to even read what they wrote with a grain of salt, that kind of like played into how authentic they were being in the experience that they had. And again, I think, of course, it's curtailed to what would interest them, right? And what would intrigue them and make life more enjoyable for them. Because what I've noticed mostly when you're like exploring like your inner self and your spiritual aspect, and you're getting little answers and understanding things, or even with the channeling, it's usually in a way that you can mostly enjoy it. Of course, there's stuff that you have to clear, and there's stuff that will shake you up a little bit and stuff like that in order for you to progress. But mostly, if they can make it, they make it like specific to you for your own kind of enjoyment, for the way that you best learn or the way that you best understand and the things that interest you, that type of thing. So, but if it's yourself, well, I get these little things. If it's yourself, if it's your higher self doing it, then it would be curtailed. Yeah, it would be specific to you. Still with this separation thing, eh? When it's really we all just one thing. So it's sometimes, because you live in that separateness for so long, it still is integrating. But I'm so glad that I catch it sometimes, that I'm aware enough to catch it. Progress, I think. Little progress, but progress nonetheless. But I will go through the book, I think, in another podcast, like specifically like what he went through, things that caught my attention, things that I found really interesting, why I found it interesting. So you can see if you want to check it out and stuff like that. Definitely going to read the other two in the trilogy, The Seeker and the Grail. And, because his journey is quite interesting. And a lot of cool things happened to him. I believe everything that he said happened, that he experienced. He is true. I don't think like he's making up stuff or anything like that. I don't doubt his integrity with what he experienced. I do wonder like how he experienced it though. Like did he like the aspects that he was talking about with the Mary Magdalene, like he was talking from her point of view. Like was that channel? Did he see it? Was it a vision? Because then he would say like what her brother was feeling. And I'm like, well, how would he know what the brother's feeling? Was he channeling from the brother too? So some stuff like that I was a little confused with. Um, I wondered if he kind of put his own little thoughts in there. A specific part in particular. I was like, well, is he channeling from Mary's point of view? Like, why is he saying Lazarus felt something? Like, how does he know that? He was channeling from all of them at the same time? Was he watching it and getting an understanding what everybody was saying? Like, was it a vision? Was it a dream where he understood what everybody was feeling? Like, I don't understand. Like, the parts where it's Mary Magdalene's life that he's talking, but from her aspect, um, how that information came. Not her aspect, but other aspects, the other people, how he knew what they were feeling and stuff. That's what I was a little confused about. But I think he is the book has a lot of integrity. I think his intentions were good and everything like that. So I guess I will leave you this wonderful Sunday evening. I don't know when this will be posted. I don't even know why I see the days on here. I probably should be a little more thoughtful about it and not do that. But I hope you have a great week. And I don't know if this house created a new reality, if you're going to try it, but I sure am going to try it. I think I'm 95% sure we're going to try it to see. It's risky behavior though, risky. Only risky because based on past experience, so I keep it open based on what she says. Anyway, the only way you know is if you leap. The only way you'll know is if you try it, right? So the consequences of it not working, though, could be disastrous. To think about it. I hope you have a great week full of love, full of understanding, full of knowing yourself more and following your heart's desire. Have a great week, guys. Bye.